Today's video is going to be an introduction to credit cards. My first introduction to credit cards in my life came when I was 17, when my mom took me to the local JP Morgan Chase Bank to get my first debit card. The Chase advisor was excited to talk with me about this opportunity for kids going to college to obtain their own debit and credit card with a zero annual fee for the debit card. Throughout the conversation between this advisor, me and my mom, whenever she would bring up the importance of credit, my mom would quickly change the subject and shrug off anything she would mention about credit. When it came time for her to offer me to apply for the student credit card, which she was strongly pushing for a reason, my mom stepped in twice and answered for me saying, "No, he doesn't need that." After some back and forth, the advisor and my mom ultimately decided to only allow me to get the checking account and debit card, but not the credit card. I could tell the financial advisor felt bad for me, because she knew my mom was holding one of the biggest financial cornerstones from me. Personally, I regret not getting the credit card that day. I could have learned about credit a lot sooner than I did, and it would have been fixed a lot sooner, and at a better time. Most young adults have gone through this, and unfortunately, had to learn about credit the hard way through trial and error, all because some parents believe credit is the gateway to destruction. As someone who has been through a wild ride with credit and credit cards, I will give you the info you need to stay on track with your credit card payments and credit repair. You might remember me explaining the 50/30/20 rule in a previous video. Well, I wanted to let you understand that having good credit isn't a want or leisure in this society, it's a necessity. When you open up a credit account for the first time, you may be surprised to know that you won't have a credit score. It doesn't start from either end of the scale or in between. Once you start building a credit line, then, in a few months' time, your score will be calculated. These first few months of your first line of credit, whether it be an auto loan, student loan, or personal loan, are the most important months for your credit report. A good credit report involves 5 key components. The first is on-time payments. The second is your credit usage percentage, and down the road will be the length of your credit history, your credit mixture, and your different lines of credit. If you're first starting out, I wouldn't worry too much about the last 3 since you're new, but if you have at least a year of managing credit, then you should consider obtaining a new line of credit, or even credit mixing if you've been able to keep yourself in good standings. To get started with a credit card, you have to apply through any bank of your choosing and pay any amount up front, if accepted, whether it be $100 to $10,000, and that amount will be how much credit you can use on your credit card. Just make sure the amount you give is payable every single month. If you don't want to wait to apply through a bank, then the other alternative that I would recommend would be to start a self-credit builder account where you can start absolutely free. Let's talk about on-time payments. You can set up automatic payments from your checking account to pay off any balance every single month. If finances are managed properly, both in your checking and credit accounts, and you are budgeting yourself carefully, then you probably won't even notice that you are gradually building your credit score doing your day-to-day activities. You can even set up alerts across all banking apps and credit building apps to notify you when your credit usage is too high, which is the second most important way of managing your credit. Typically, you would want to keep your credit usage under 35%. This will keep your credit usage in good standing. Anything between 36% and 74% is moderate usage, and anything higher is very high usage, which is not good. Being able to pay off 35% of your credit line every month should be manageable if used, which is why having a reasonable credit limit is essential when starting off. To all high school graduates and college students and young adults in general, you don't have to be afraid of credit like some of our parents. All you have to do is be responsible. Don't forget, finance is a mental game. Be strong.